It's time for Recipe of the Day. Can you believe that tomorrow is the last day of the year, the last day of 2025? I can't believe it. Well, if you are looking for something to serve to some guests around now, maybe tomorrow itself for the big night, or if you just want to have a bottle of wine or sparkling wine that stretches a little bit further and maybe has a little bit less alcohol in it per glass, I have two ideas for you. They are quite similar. One is a cranberry champagne punch and the other is a ginger basil champagne punch. So the first, cranberry champagne punch, very simple. You are doing 3 cups of cold sparkling wine. That is one standard 750 milliliter bottle. Now, I don't like this to be too sweet, so I'm going with a Brut. It will usually say that on the bottle somewhere, and I would not go with something expensive. You're not doing like a $50 bottle of champagne here or anything like that. You can just get a bottle of Prosecco and that'll work perfectly, or anything that you would use to like make mimosas with. If you have a go-to mimosa sparkling wine, go with that. Now, I should have said first that what I like to do is get whatever container I'm going to be serving this out of, and you're going to actually add the cranberry juice first. It's 3 cups of cold cranberry juice. And the reason I add that first is that when you then pour the sparkling wine into it, you can kind of do it like carefully and slowly so that all the bubbles don't fizz out of it. If you're doing the sparkling wine straight into the container first, it's splashing a lot more and that gets rid of more of the bubbles more quickly, right? So you're doing 3 cups of cold cranberry juice. So what you have noticed now is that it's the same amount of cranberry juice to sparkling wine. So you can just do a half batch of this or just as much as you need very easily by measuring that way. So 3 cups of cranberry juice cold into your container, 3 cups of the cold sparkling wine, that is 1 bottle, and then you're adding a 1/4 cup of orange liqueur, either Triple Sec, Grand Marnier, or Cointreau. That's going to make it boozier, and those drinks aren't particularly sweet either. So they're going to add that like boozier flavor, orangey flavor, and not a ton of sweetness. Most of the sweetness is coming from the cranberry juice, which is, sweet but also tart. So this is not going to be like a really sweet drink. It's going to be mellow and lovely. And then what I like to do is add frozen cranberries to this to keep it cold and for a nice garnish. So 2 cups of frozen cranberries go in and you serve it immediately. Very quick to put together right before guests are coming or when you just want a glass. Now, the other delicious champagne punch that I have for you has a ginger basil flavor with cranberry as well. I know that might sound crazy to you, but I promise it works together really, really well. And the basil leaves, that green color of the fresh basil leaves, that is going to be right in the punch along with some frozen cranberries here as well. So you have this like really pretty gingery colored bubbly beverage going on with green and red floating in it, which is so pretty for the holiday season, right? So this time you are going with 3 cups of cold ginger ale right into your container that you're going to be serving this from. And I'm saying ginger ale, not ginger beer. Ginger beer is going to be way too gingery. And then you're doing a bottle of that cold sparkling wine. Same thing I said before. You probably want something dry, something that's a Brut, because that ginger ale is quite sweet. Unless you want a really sweet punch, then you could do a sweet sparkling wine. That is up to you. Then you're just doing a little bit of orange liqueur in this one. It's just a little background note. 1 ounce, that is 2 tablespoons of an orange liqueur. Same thing, Triple Sec, Grand Marnier, or Cointreau. And then you're adding 8 fresh basil leaves to there and 30 frozen cranberries. And that's going to keep it cold and fresh. The basil, like you're not eating the basil, right? It's just going to end up very lightly flavoring the punch. And like if you get one of the basil leaves in your glass, when you're drinking it, the smell of the basil is going to come up as you're sipping. And so you're going to like taste it. You know what I mean? Really, really lovely flavor combination in there and a great and surprising maybe way to celebrate New Year's Eve tomorrow. I will put the links to both of these recipes in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and you will find one of them there in the episode for December 30th of 2025. The link that you will find there is for the ginger champagne punch, but once you're there, you will see the link to the cranberry champagne punch, or go to cookthestory.com and search for champagne. You will find them both there. Okay, I hope you have had a delicious and a wonderful 2025 and that you enjoy the last day or so of it. And I will be back with you again in 2026. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all new chicken cookbook, cookfor2.us, and this podcast recipe of the day. Happy New Year. Let's get cooking.